And we're live again, second time today. A little bit unexpected, but some things are worth making time for. So I thought this may be a good thing to make time for immediately. Um, I had a chat before this one with Montlake Man, and we talked about a couple of things, and I mentioned a couple of things, and then I got DMs from Stephanie. So I already said that I don't close the door easily. So if someone wants to put things right, then I'll always be able to talk. But because all of this happened in public, I thought it's just the best thing to do to do this in public. So, Stephanie, go ahead.
Hello?
You contacted me. Tell me what's up.
Well, okay, so I was listening to your chat today with Montlake Man, and I think it was a nice chat, and I had some comments, and then I had to leave and had to make dinner for my family, and then while I was doing that, apparently my name came up, so I heard from my friends, and I tuned back into the chat when you were already finished, and I heard you mention my name, so. Uh, and it sounded like you think I'm an enemy, or I think, or no, let me rephrase that. It sounded like you think that you're an enemy, and I admit I sent a tweet that said I like to keep my friends close and my enemies closer, and you assumed that you were the enemy. But I'd
All
like to tell
the tweet. Let's not beat around the bush, Stephanie. The tweet was clear, and it was meant to let me know that I am the enemy. It was not a joke. This was 100% uh, serious.
okay,
And
so
and it
even if
it
I said
wasn't
that,
and it wasn't only in this tweet, it was in DMs as well. You made it clear to me that I am the enemy.
okay,
You told people that I was threatening you, and you can laugh about it, but to me it's a lot more serious apparently than it is to you.
okay, as far as that, okay, let's get back on a good page. Now, here's what happened. So you sent me a couple of DMs that were warning me that something really bad was going to go down for me, and I said, "Is it going to be worse than whatever this was?" I said, "Is it going to be worse than?" Is it going to be a Twitter suspension? Are they looking to suspend my account, or is it my YouTube account they're looking to suspend? And you said it was far worse than that. And then I took it in context and recalled some previous conversations and chats and tweets that I'd seen from you in your old account, where you'd mentioned that you have connections with a Tampa journalist. And so I realized that maybe this has something to do with that Tampa journalist. And so I did feel a bit threatened. I don't know what the journalist would possibly write about. I'm completely uninteresting and not newsworthy. But if somebody actually does find something on me, I would suspect it probably wouldn't be true. So
I can clarify a little bit because the people are not aware of what this is all about. Since you brought it up, I think it's perfectly fine to bring up the entire situation. But a little over half a year ago, you were blackmailing me, trying to shut down my YouTube channel and my Twitter account over a video that I had on there, and where people were posting comments that you did not agree with. You wanted me to act as your personal YouTube police and remove uh,
my husband's trying to
every.
get me off the
Wait a minute.
phone already.
No. I'm going to say we're going to talk honestly here, so we're not going to
I hear you,
put
Keith.
stuff under the
He's
rug.
trying to. I
you,
told you it's
you
hard for me to
wanted
talk at
you
night.
wanted you wanted to me to delete every single comment made on that video that could be seen as offensive to you. Not
Yes,
only
I did.
comments. Yes. So,
I
and I
admit that.
told you,
I
and
did.
I
Yes,
told
that's
you,
true.
and I told you, I'm not going to do that. If
Yes, you
people
did.
are making, if people are making threats on my YouTube channel, I will report them. I will inform you so you can report them. And when I have reported them, then I will remove the comment, because we can only report comments that are still there. And
Okay, so let's talk about what's relevant now.
I will not delete them. I will hide them from public view. That's what I told you back then. That for you wasn't enough. You launched a couple of strikes on my channel, which I countered quite easily because I did nothing wrong with the video. I provided YouTube the
Peter, am I going to
evidence.
get a chance to talk
No, no,
here? I mean, this is your channel,
no.
but you bring guests on and
You,
give us no chance to talk. I know
if
the
you
story, and
if you
I'd
bring
like to share my point of view now.
if you bring up a topic, the public has the right to know what we're talking about. Otherwise, it's going to make me look bad, and that's what I'm not allowing here.
I
So,
don't want to make you
since
look
you
bad.
brought
That's not my intention, Peter.
since you brought up the
Can I please
journalist,
explain my views from the video
no,
from a
no,
year ago?
because this is my
Okay, so why
channel,
did
and
you bring
I'm
me on
going
your
to
channel? Why did you bring me on
you
here? I
brought
thought I could
you
explain.
brought you brought up this topic, and we're going to flesh it out now. If
So
not,
let
then
me
you should
talk.
have not. If you don't want to talk about back then,
Peter, can I please talk?
but use it in your
This is
defense, then
really annoying.
people have the right to know what happened back then. So I'm going to finish this. It's going to take just a few minutes if you just let
A
me
few
talk.
minutes, Peter. I told you I only have a few minutes, and if you don't let me
Okay.
talk and explain my
Well,
views, I'm not going to even stay on here. I've got a
I'll still
husband who
talk.
keeps showing up in the doorway to
So
try to get me to come downstairs. So
what happened back then is that you launched a couple of strikes on my channel, which I countered. You launched an attack on me on Twitter that I was trying to dox you, which I countered that all of your information was readily available on Dean Esme's channel, which it still is. So I did absolutely nothing wrong back then. And during that time, um, I got in touch with a certain journalist and I told her, well, listen, this is going on, and it to me it was just a Christian attacking an atheist. So and she got back then all the information that I have about what was going on back then. So I know she's still working on something. We put our differences behind us. At least I thought we did. Apparently we didn't. But we put our differences behind us. And I just wanted to warn you that this is still an ongoing thing. And what I'm trying to say is that at the moment, you are the actions coming from you on YouTube and on Twitter, you associating yourself with a known hate group, being Dean Esme and all the ilk that surrounds him, is going to damage you in the near future. I wanted to warn you about that. Okay, you made that into me threatening you. Well, let me make it very clear. Whatever happens in this conversation, if I ever in the future see that someone is going after you, whether it be in private, on YouTube, or on Twitter, you will never get a warning from me again. Ever. Because that's something that you abused. So I'm not letting that happen again. Your time to talk.
Is it ready for me to talk?
Yes,
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm
Okay,
ready.
so yes, the context of what happened last year, let me just add a little bit to that. So I called into the first time I ever got on a phone call with an atheist was my telephone call with, I think it was the first time, I'm pretty sure it was, with Matt Dillahunty, and it didn't go well. It was about 15 minutes of torture. I was on there and I said some things and I sounded like a quite arrogant woman. And I decided that's not how I wanted to come across at all. So it was wrong. So anyway, again, he hung up on me. He muted me. It was a very unpleasant conversation. And it was also embarrassing because I ended it by saying something completely irrational and stupid. I said something like, yes, I'm wasting your time, something like that. And it was terrible. And so you reposted it on your website. And initially I was very sensitive about it. I was definitely sensitive over the first at least 6 months after this occurred. This was March of last year. Very sensitive. And so I went into I went into, as I kept seeing more viewers watching it and noticing that more people were posting very nasty comments, and a lot of them were, calling me arrogant, which I, of course, completely acknowledge. I sounded like an arrogant, woman on that call, and I can understand why people were calling me that, and so I took that to heart. And I also would noticed that people were calling me some other names, and there were some threats and something about punching me in the face and things like that. And so I didn't like it at all. And I thought to myself, I have students and this kind of thing, and I really don't want people to watch this or see it. And I definitely didn't appreciate the comments. So I tried to get you to take it down, and you wouldn't. And I tried to get you to look at the comments, and you wouldn't. And so one day I just threw the white towel in and I said, okay, I give up. And at this point I noticed.
Wait a minute. That's not true.
No, that is true.
I never
Peter, I haven't said anything. Peter, stop. You said you'd give me a chance to talk.
No. You're not going to spread lies about me on my own channel.
Peter, I did not refuse. I haven't even
mentioned this to you in a long time. I did not refuse to look at the comments. I told you that I would remove any threats that were made on my channel. So don't say to me that I didn't want to look at the comments, because I am still watching those comments. And I will still remove any direct threat made to you from my channel. Only thing is, I won't inform you anymore. I will report to people myself. And if that's not enough, then that's not enough. But
okay,
I'm still moderating the comments on that particular conversation.
Okay, good. So 140,000 people have viewed it. And on the positive side, at least I've done some other things that I think came across better. So I'm pleased that I have been able to go on to other people's channels and chat and try to show that I'm really not that person who was on that call. I mean, I am that person who was on that call, but I honestly am not. I definitely came in there with sort of a chip on my shoulder, and it came across, and you could see it, and it was pretty ugly. So to that end, so then lately, since last summer or so, as I said, I gave up on this whole thing and decided I wasn't going to pay attention to that, except for I do every once in a while go to see how many people viewed it, because it is curious that really that many people would want to view that. It's it's really awful. So then, and here we are. And so you and I became friends again. I've chatted with you now. This is the 6th time I think I've chatted with you. Am I correct about that? We've been on 6 calls together.
3, as far as I'm aware of.
Didn't you come? You were on my channel twice.
Yes.
I was on your channel twice. Then we were both on a channel, Anti-Ordinary, I think it is.
Oh yeah, could be.
Okay, well,
but those weren't talks between us.
So you and I have a tumultuous relationship. However, I think it's been pretty good since probably, I don't know, when did we become friends again? Was it, and I followed you back and that kind of thing. Was that back in August or September, something like that?
I wouldn't, with hindsight, I wouldn't call it being friends again, because.
But we've been semi-friends, I guess you could say.
More friendly, maybe, is the right term. But yeah, I think that's about August.
Okay.
Could be right.
Okay, so I think at this point, I mean, it's nice if we can get along and we can be friends and that kind of good stuff. Would you say?
Yes.
Okay, I think we can come to an agreement. And I don't care about the video anymore. I gave that up a long time ago, and I do care about you. Honestly, I do. I care about you as a person. I'd like to see you thrive and do well and prosper and have a great life and all that kind of good stuff. So so that's why I'm here tonight, even though I had to sneak upstairs. I wasn't really sneaking upstairs. I I came upstairs, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Well, we still haven't gotten to the point that was actually the reason of the DM conversation and my mentions in the previous video. Your actions have caused me harm. Dean Esme made a video about it, and you can say I had nothing to do with it. You sending him DMs is what led to the video. He had all the information, and he had all the information coming straight from you because he was in that DM group. That much I already know.
He was in the DM group, but I can tell you he hasn't been on Twitter in over 3 weeks. I have friends on the DM group who will confirm that he has not interacted with us on DM in well over 3 weeks, or whenever he got kicked off of Twitter, early January, I think it was. So maybe he's even up to 6 weeks now.
If you send it to any of the other creeps, you know as well as I do that the first thing they will do is send it to him because he will use it. And
well,
the video,
that apparently is what happened.
Wait a minute, I'm not done yet. Then the video went up, and I made you aware that that video was up. You were fully
you did.
aware.
I didn't know about it though before then.
You were fully aware of the video and took no action whatsoever. What you did do is call me an enemy in tweets, and a lot of people, a lot of your followers came after me over that. And I'm fine with that because I have nothing to hide. I did nothing wrong. I never threatened you. I would never threaten you. Even now, you are a part of escaping atheism or red pill religion or whatever this asshole community is called today or will be called tomorrow, because they'll
I spent a lot of time on the phone with Professor Flynn going over my relationship to red pill religion. I'm not actually a part of red pill religion.
You are
I know red pill religion.
You are a full-fledged member of this group, and you have admitted to it in the video you did with Flynn. You did not
I never said I'm a member.
You did not want to
No, Peter.
You did
Peter,
not
are you going to allow me to talk?
No, because I'm going to finish what I'm going to say. You did not renounce them, and you did not want to distance yourself from them. And you even went as far as saying that Dean Esme is a good person. Am I wrong?
Yeah, let me again explain my relationship to red pill religion. Now, I have been on videos with red pill religion with Max Kolbe and their group, and I've had them on my channel and I've been on their channel. That's the relationship. Other people have gone on their channel. In fact, your friend Shannon Q, I just happened to notice she's been on a bunch of videos with Dean Esme lately, and I don't think that you contact her and say that she's a member of their group, and so I don't know why you say I'm a member. I'm not. I'm making it very clear. Now, what do I think about that group? I happen to like, and I said it before, I like them. They're nice people. I've seen the insides of their hearts, and I've seen that they're trying to do things right. And not every time
calling people niggers and faggots. And
I don't agree with that, Peter, and I made that quite clear with Professor Flynn.
And sending death threats to Dusty Smith, and calling all atheist women hoes, and calling feminists like you. Well, you responded to the tweet. You know what he thinks of you, right? And how did you respond? Let's move on, Dean. There are much more important things to do. You have no backbone at all. Nothing.
Okay. That's fine. You can say whatever you want about me. I don't care.
So you agree with all those tweets? You're fine with all those tweets?
No, I'm not. I told you, again, if you'd let me to talk, I told you quite clearly that no, I don't agree with those tweets. And there are many things about Max Kolbe that I don't agree with. I don't agree with his some of his things that he says that are anti-feminist, because as I've mentioned before, I'm a feminist. He also is a more conservative person in politics. I lean to the left. And so we have differences. I'm not the same person as he is. And I'm also not a Catholic. And one of the requirements to even be a part of his group is to be a Catholic, and I'm a Baptist, and so those are several things that we differ on. Along with, of course, I don't use the N word. You've never seen me. I don't think I've cussed ever on Twitter. I hope I haven't, and I hope I've tried to be a decent person. As I mentioned in a blog that I wrote over the weekend, I truly apologize for some of the tweets that I sent over the summer. I had sent some tweets that I thought were funny at the time. They weren't. They weren't funny. They were very insulting to atheists. I made up some silly tweets and said them, and I made like atheism 101 things and that. And so in August, I had sort of a heads up when I really sent something that was insulting to some people, and I felt terrible about it afterwards. And I started deleting all the tweets that I could find that were at all insensitive to atheists. In fact, I just did a keyword search on my Twitter account. Anytime I saw the word atheist or atheism, I deleted the tweets, because I decided I did not want to be like that kind of a person. My goal is to show Christ. It's not to be that kind of a person. And so I went to my pastor and I listened to his sermon on yesterday, actually, when I was trying to figure out how to write an apology blog, because Tony Hackenslash and Professor Flynn told me I should write an apology blog over the tweets that I sent in August that were directed at some people. And so I was trying to figure out how to do that. And I went to the sermon, and the pastor basically gave a great sermon. And he said, we really need to lead by example. And who's going to want to follow a Christian if we're acting like big jerks? I mean, no one's going to, they're going to look at us and say, why would we want to follow those people? They're awful. And so I wrote the blog and I said, I'm going to try to do whatever I can do to imitate Christ. And I've blown it. I'll admit it. I haven't been sensitive sometimes, but I'm trying to do it right now with you too. I want to be your friend. I want to treat you the way that I feel like I should treat you through Christ's eyes.
Oh, that's fine. And the reason that we're on here is that I'm giving you at least a chance to do that. But I'm going to make one serious restriction. I'll have to ask a question first. Did you see the video Dean made right after the one that I linked you to?
Yes, I did see that, but I haven't watched it in a while. It was a couple weeks ago, I think, and I didn't watch it today when you posted it, because I had already seen it before.
Okay, a more important one. Did you see the one where Godless Engineer came on his channel?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay.
Is that a good one?
Oh, for atheists, yes. For atheists, yes. Dean Esme lost his cool big time, to an extent that even his microphone couldn't cope anymore and cut out. He was screaming and yelling like the idiot moron that he is. And he made it clear in that video, and I'll use his words, that he is a shit poster. And he's only on Twitter and YouTube to shit post. He is only on YouTube. Wait a minute, I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Okay.
I'm not finished. He's only on YouTube and on Twitter to create more animosity between Christians and atheists. And if he gets his way, atheists will have their rights taken away. And if he really gets his way, and we both know this, he'd like to gas atheists. So you can try and be friends with me, but as long as you have not distantiated yourself from Dean Esme and have made a public call that they are a hate group that you will have nothing to do with, you wouldn't associate yourself with Hitler because he was a Christian. Even though, and I'm going to make a video on this, you made a perfect apology for the Holocaust as being a teaching thing that God allowed so we can treat Jews better. How disgusting can a human being get? You're mocking the death of over 6 million people live in a YouTube stream.
If I could
Uh,
explain that, it would be wonderful.
if you were a teacher in Holland, you would have been fired at the very same moment that you said that on YouTube. They would have sent you an email. You wouldn't even have to come in the next day.
Can I please explain what I said? Because you're trying to take something way out of context. And if you don't
No,
allow
I'm
me to
not.
explain it, I will again hang up.
To post, and I downloaded it.
Let me
I'm going
explain
to
it.
post the full
I
thing
hope you
that you
do.
said on.
I hope you do.
Yes,
Because then people will see what I really said.
yes.
Okay, let me explain. First, let me go back and again make a note about Dean Esme and the group. Let me say something. As I mentioned this before, I try to open myself up to everybody and people from all different walks and from all different opinions. I'm friends with conservatives. I'm friends with liberals. I'm friends with people who are of all different faiths. At my school, I'm friends with Muslims, I'm friends with Hindus, Buddhists. I mean, you name it, I'm friends with them. I've got Mormon friends, lots of Mormon colleagues. I've got a lot of people in a lot of different groups. And online, on Twitter, I've met a lot of atheists, and I'm trying to develop relationships that are very positive with atheists. And so my point is, I don't go into people's timelines on my Twitter account to see what they're doing on the side and whether I agree with all of their actions, because a lot of times I don't agree with their actions. And people, if you listen to what my message was that I learned even more so on Sunday from my pastor, is I don't want to be like that myself. I want to be a good person and do the right thing. So going to the Holocaust thing, I wasn't justifying anything. In fact, I came from a town, and I mentioned this on my other YouTube, on the other channel. I lived in a town from well, I'm not going to age myself, but a really long time. I lived in 22 years in Boca Raton, Florida, and in Boca Raton, Florida, it's about half Jewish, and I met a lot of Jewish people, and I met a lot of Holocaust survivors, and I befriended a lot of them, and I've seen the marks on people's arms from the Holocaust that are horrifying, and I've heard some horrifying, horrific stories about what they had to go through, and it's terrible. I mean, so many of them lost family members, and it's absolutely horrifying. And so when I think it was Robert Reed mentioned something about the Holocaust and how could God allow something like that, I tried to look at what would be a big picture view of it, and I thought, through the centuries, Jewish people have been mistreated for hundreds and hundreds of years, and finally, when you see something so awful, sometimes people say, what the hell have we been doing and mistreating Jewish people like this? It's completely wrong. And I think that as awful and terrible as that event was, I think that people might realize that, you know, we need to all get along. We can never allow something like what Hitler did to happen again. We can never allow genocide like that. Now we still see genocide in parts of the world, and the things that are happening to people are horrifying. And again, you sometimes see them and you say, how could God allow this to happen? It's so terrible. I mean, how did God allow all those Christians who were on the beach in Egypt how did he allow them to have their heads sliced off by ISIS? I mean, it's horrific seeing that. And they were saying prayers and everything else while they were having their head sliced off. And so I say to myself, why would that happen? And I try to look at the grand scheme of things and think, I mean, obviously those people are in heaven now, but on the other side is we see terrible things in this world, and I just try to make sense of it, and that's all.
Have you been to one of those camps, by the way?
No, I haven't. In fact, I really do want to go over to one of them. I'm planning to go to Germany kind of soon.
Have you seen this inscription in one of them?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to any of the camps.
I think it's an awesome one. If a God exists, he owes me an apology.
Wait. You said you saw an inscription that said that?
Google it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Yes.
You saw somebody wrote the inscription that if God, say it again. I'm sorry.
If God exists, he owes me an apology. One of the people who died there,
it's sad.
one of the people who died there wrote that. And when it comes to tattoos, my grandfather had one. You didn't know this?
I'm sorry. What's that? That's terrible,
You
Peter.
mentioned,
Obviously, it's horrible if your grandfather had to go through that.
yes. Well, he survived.
Well, that's good. So did the ones I saw, and I've met a lot of them. I'm telling you, I know a lot of Jewish people coming from the town I came from.
Yes.
And I have.
And would you befriend Hitler?
No, I'd never befriend Hitler.
Explain why you want to befriend Dean Esme.
Why do you persist? In all honesty, I haven't even spoken with him since he's been off Twitter, and I don't even know. I honestly, and I'm not kidding, Peter. I have not spoken with him since I've been off Twitter. I don't know how much more clear I can make that to you. He's been off Twitter since I think early January. I haven't even spoken to him. So I've gotten beat up more times by all of you guys over my association with him. And again, as I told you, I keep my doors open to everybody. I don't do it to Hitler. Hitler's dead anyway. But I don't consider Dean Esme Hitler. If you met Dean Esme, if you met him, you would actually. There's a lot of good qualities. He has a lot of good qualities.
I met him. He was on our channel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I met him. And we all know what happened.
Okay. Well, can we move on from talk about Dean Esme? I don't want to. I felt bad in my last conversation I had with Professor Flynn. We already went over all the Dean Esme stuff over and over and over. And so I'd really rather. I didn't come on the channel to talk about that. That's not what I'm here to talk about.
You said in DM to me that you wanted to make an apology. I still have to wait for that apology. And I'm just explaining to you that a guy who is this was in 2017, because I reported that tweet and I was dumb enough to lose the screenshot that I made. And a lot of people have given me a lot of flack over this. But I reported the tweet where he asked if it weren't a good thing to gas all atheists. So if we're now trying
Clearly,
to
I don't agree with that. Now, Peter, let's go back and let's get back to the topics at hand.
I let you talk. Now you let me talk.
No, all you're doing is badgering Dean. Let him come on here and defend himself. I'm not here. I am not his representative.
It's not about Dean.
No, Peter. I am not his representative. I am here to talk on my own behalf for my tweets that I would be held accountable for, not for his tweets.
Yes.
I'm not here to be held accountable for Dean's tweets.
I'm holding you accountable for associating with a guy who calls for the gassing of atheists. That's what I'm holding you accountable for. You are befriending them. You are trying to humanize him. You are trying to make him sound like a loving Christian, and he is not. He is as much a loving Christian.
I'm not going to stay on this one. If you like to talk to me, I didn't even have a half hour to talk. If you want to keep talking, we have to switch topics. I'm not talking about Max Kolbe anymore.
I'll finish up with what I was trying to say.
I'm not here to talk about Max Kolbe anymore. I'm going to hang up. I have to warn you. I'm going to hang up if you talk about Max Kolbe anymore. I'm done with that.
Okay. I'm talking about you now.
Thank you.
As long.
I don't want to talk about Max Kolbe. That's not my topic. I'm not here to be his voice piece.
Can I now talk, because this is still my channel?
Yes,
as long
you're not going to talk about Max Kolbe.
As long as you, Stephanie J. Thomason.
Bye-bye.
Stephanie J. Thomason.
Go. Bye, Peter.
I'm talking about you now.
Okay, I'm not talking about Max Kolbe anymore. Just let's make that clear.
I'm talking about you, not anyone else. I don't care about Max Kolbe, and it isn't Max Kolbe, it's Dean Esme. Please try and use his real name. I'm using my real name. You are using your real name. So let's use his real name as well. I'm only saying that as long as you're associating with him, I cannot be friends with you. You'll have to make a choice at some point whether or not you're going to be part of humanity, or whether or not you're going to be against humanity. And that's up to you. I can't force you. I can't force you. I
Okay,
can't force you
it's
into
been
this.
nice, Peter. I've got to go. I told you I only had a couple minutes. I'm not going to talk about Max
So,
Kolbe
so
anymore.
no apology, nothing. Right?
I,
You're leaving.
Peter, I apologize to you as an atheist for because you're an atheist and you're in the group of people that some of my tweets over the summer were terribly insensitive. I'm apologizing to you right now for that. Yes, I deeply apologize if I offended you for any of my tweets I've ever sent. I deeply apologize.
That has already been done. What I'm talking about is the latest shitstorm that happened because of you.
You mean that one between I Am Atheist Girl and Renee and Marty?
No.
What happened with that?
That has nothing to do with you, and that's not the subject that we're talking about here. And that's between the people who are actually in that conflict, and I wasn't even part of that. So
No, you were. I saw you. I saw the tweets. I was watching them. You got on the
yes,
show, on Marty's show, and then he was talking about I Am Atheist
great,
Girl or
but
something like
this
that.
wasn't
What happened there?
wasn't the topic. Wasn't the topic. Don't change the topic. What you were telling me in DM is that you wanted to apologize for the tweets you sent out for the latest shitstorm that came to me over threatening you. That's what you told me. And you asked me about the title. The title of this video is Stephanie J. Thomason wants to apologize for her actions. Will she? Well, the title is appropriate.
Okay, I'm looking at the DMs, Peter, and I'll gladly provide these. I don't see where I said I was going to apologize for the tweets that you sent me, or the DM that you sent me, or that I sent out. I don't see that in here. I'm looking right here. It's
Did you
not.
respond to the video that I just made with Nick?
I don't see it. I'm trying to find where I said that I was trying to get on here to apologize for that. I don't see it. Now, again, I'm offering a general apology to all atheists for anything that I said that was insensitive.
So no apologies for calling me your enemy. No apologies for telling
You
people
know what?
that I
Actually, that's
was
a great point.
threatening,
I'll absolutely,
that I was
let me
threatening
apologize.
you
Okay,
when I wasn't threatening you, but I was, as a friend, trying to warn you, trying to keep you out of harm's way. No apology for that.
let me apologize for calling you an enemy. And in the context of that particular tweet, what I said was, I like to keep my friends close and my enemies closer. It's an old phrase that a lot of people have said. And you decided that you must be an enemy and you must be especially close to me. And but actually, I could also call you a friend. And if I ever did consider you an enemy, which I think sometimes I have, I'll be honest, I'd like to now wash that under the, get out the white flag and just say I'd like to be your friend, if that's possible.
I told you there's going to be a condition.
Well, I can't. I'm not a conditional friend. I'm either a friend or I'm not a friend. I'm here to
Yes.
be your friend. But if you're going to
And
say that I have to unfriend all of my other friends to
no,
be
no, no,
your
no,
friend,
no,
I can't
no,
do
no,
that. I'm
no.
not going to do that. That's not fair.
That's not what I'm asking.
Yes, you
That's not
are.
what
You're
I'm
asking me
asking.
to unfriend other friends to be your friend,
No,
and
that's not
I'm
what
not
I'm
going to play
asking.
favorites with people. I'm friends with you,
No, that's
and I'm friends with
no,
other
that's
people
not what
too. I have lots of
that's
friends.
not what yes, that's not what I'm asking. Is it? Did I ask
Yes,
you
you
to
said that I
unfriend
have
anyone?
to unfriend. You said I have to unfriend the Max Kolbe group if I want to be your friend.
I want you to speak out about their actions. And I want you, as a human being, to do the decent thing and not be part of that group. And not
I'm
be
not
a
a part of that
contributor.
group. How many
And
times do
not
I have to tell
being
you the
and
same
not
thing?
and
I'm
not
not a
being
part of that group, sir.
and not being a contributor to their website, and not being a voice for them on your YouTube channel by inviting them.
Did you ask Godless Engineer and Shannon Q not to be a contributor to his website? Because I've seen Shannon Q's been on more videos with him than I've been on.
Yes.
What do you do about that?
Is she criticizing him? Because I watched those.
I don't know what she's doing. I haven't actually watched any of the videos, but I noticed it today when I
So
was.
you have no idea.
No, I don't know what Shannon Q's doing. And in fact, I was interested. I decided I was probably going to go watch those videos when I get a chance. Because I saw that she was on, it looks like she's been on, looks like I think 5 of his videos recently.
Yeah, she's been on a couple. And she doesn't agree
So
with him.
did you tell her that she shouldn't get on his video?
And she calls him out for his actions, which you
Okay.
do not.
But you don't call her part of his group, even though she and I have the exact same relationship with him.
They
I'm on the video
no,
in his
no,
thing,
she
and you're on a
doesn't.
video in his
No,
thing.
she
In fact, he
doesn't.
even came into your channel. He even came onto your channel
Yes,
and was on one of your
yes,
videos.
yes. And I did
So you have
call
a
him
double
out.
standard here.
No, I don't have a double standard. He came on
Well,
my
you said that
channel.
he can be on
He
your
came
channel,
on my channel.
and
He's
Pew,
not a
Godless
friend,
Engineer,
and
can be on
I
his channel,
didn't.
but I
And
can't be on his channel because I'm a Christian and he's a Christian. That's
oh,
what you're saying.
you can go on his channel. You can call him out for his shit posting. You can call him out for calling people niggers, fags, hoes. I want you to do
And
that.
I already told if you would please
I
listen to me,
want you
Peter.
to confront him. I want you to confront him one on one with all of those tweets and tell him to his face what you think about it. Tell him to his face what you think about it, that he considers you a slag because you're a feminist. I want you to tell him that to his face, and you won't.
Peter,
And let me tell
again,
you why you
again,
won't. You
Peter, you're
are
talking about Max
only
Kolbe again. Now you're going to also
no, I'm
start
talking
slamming
about
me.
you.
I told you
I'm
I'm not
talking
going to
about
talk
you.
about this, Peter. If you'd like to
I'm
talk
talking
about
about
calm,
you.
rational conversation with two adults about the two adults and their own tweets, I'm fine with that. I have, again, Max Kolbe has not even been on Twitter in 6 weeks. How can I possibly call out his tweets when he's not tweeting? Okay? He's not on Twitter
Oh,
anymore. Peter, you
and
and
you,
your friends were able to get rid of him, and so he's not there.
I don't
Um,
know. I don't know who got rid of him.
so
I
so
know a
and I
lot of.
also told
I
Professor
know a lot
Flynn.
of Christians. I know a
Okay,
lot of Christians who are
Peter,
on his case
Peter, I
and
told.
who are
Listen to me real
reporting
quick.
every single tweet.
Peter, I told Professor Flynn that if I do see tweets like that from Max Kolbe, I will say something. I promise you I will say something. I already said that live in a YouTube chat, so I hope you'll take my word for it and believe me, okay? I will say something if I see another tweet like that from Max Kolbe. Is that good?
I'll have to see what happens
Okay. So I think we're pretty good
because
now, right? I think
we're
we can.
getting we're getting somewhere, but
Okay.
we're not done yet.
Well, as I said, I only have a few minutes. I really have to go. So
What I'm still waiting for is, do you think you have to apologize for making people think that I threatened you in any way?
wait, what did you do to Cy? Did you just turn him off?
Yes, because I'm sick and tired of his stupid comments and trying to
That's not
aggravate the
very nice.
situation.
Why did you do that?
No, he got a timeout. He'll be back.
All right. Well, here's the deal. So, all I actually did is a couple of your friends actually sent me a DM and asked me to share the DM that you had sent,
No, no,
and
no,
I
no.
shared
That's
the
not
DM,
what
and they
happened.
came to
That's
no,
not what
actually that is
happened,
what happened, and they
Stephanie.
came to a decision on
Because
based
they
on the
couldn't
actual
know.
words in your DM
How did they know? How did they know about the DMs then?
because I tweeted something about it.
Aha. Okay.
I didn't
Let's go
tweet the
to that
DMs, but I
tweet.
tweeted something about it.
Let's go to those tweets you sent out. Do you think there's anything you have to apologize for?
Well, maybe if we shared the DM to give the full message out, can I read the DM to them? Would that be okay with you?
I'm asking you about those tweets,
Can I just read the
and you're
DM to everybody? Would you be
and you're
amenable to that?
deflecting. And so is it maybe possible that you don't want to apologize for the fact that you unjustly told people that I was threatening you?
Well, I think what people would really probably like to hear exactly what you did say, and then they can come to their own decision. Is it fair that I can just read this to them?
I'll ask you to your face. Did I ever threaten you, Stephanie?
I felt threatened when I read this tweet. I don't know where the threat was coming from. It wasn't necessarily coming from you, but your message that you were conveying was threatening.
Did I ever threaten you, Stephanie?
Can I
It's a
please
yes
read
or
the?
no question.
Would you give me the permission to read this
No,
direct
I'm not
message?
giving you. I'm not giving you permission. I want you to answer the damn question. Did I ever threaten you?
Well,
Ever.
I mean, you have told me that you have seen my house. You've gotten
Yes.
my phone numbers. Uh,
Yes.
there's a lot of you go to my Facebook page.
Keep
Um,
your friends close and keep your enemies closer. At
I
that
haven't
time,
seen
you were
your
my
house.
enemy.
I have none of
No,
your phone numbers. I don't even know what your last name is.
the Tucker.
Tucker? Oh, okay. Peter Tucker. That's a nice name.
Go to Johnny Drive-By's channel. He doxed me
No, it's okay. You already even put your face out, so we all know what you look like and everything.
on my request. He was the first one to actually post a picture and a short video of me, and he got those from me, as he did my last name.
Yeah.
Back to the question: have I ever threatened you,
Well,
Stephanie?
Peter, I would I'd like to read the direct message to people if they would like to,
It's a
if you want to have a fair
yes
answer to
or
that.
no. It's a yes or no question, Stephanie.
Peter,
Answer it.
whether you shared
Have I ever threatened you in person?
in person. No, I haven't even
Yes or
met you in
no?
person.
Have I ever threatened you in a DM or in a tweet?
Your DM scared me, I'll be honest. It seriously scared me. I was out to eat dinner with my husband at the Outback when I received the tweet.
Did my
And
actions scare you or did someone else's actions scare you?
what you said in the direct message was very scary to me, yes.
Were my actions scaring you or were someone else's actions scaring you?
Well, given that you said you had a relationship with a journalist, and you just mentioned that before, and then you said in the
I
DM
do not,
that
I
something
did,
really bad was going to come out about me, and that I was
I
going to,
have,
and
I don't have a relationship with a journalist. I am
but you
in
just said it a
touch
little
with a
while ago.
journalist.
Oh, okay.
I am in
So you're in
touch with
touch
a
with a
journalist.
journalist, and the journalist was gathering information on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you indicated when I was out to eat dinner with my husband that that it was really bad. That whatever this journalist was going to publish, and it kind of implicated that I possibly could be losing my job over it. Is that true?
I already told you I still don't know if it's going to be published, yes or no. I just wanted you to be safe.
Oh, well, then
And
thank
you
you for
were well
protecting.
aware and you were well aware of the fact that that is what I was doing. So I'll ask you again. In those latest DMs, did I threaten you? Yes or no?
Yes, Peter,
It's
you threatened me in the DMs.
how?
Can I read the DM to people so they can decide?
No, I want you to explain to me how I threatened you.
Well, you implied that something very bad was going to happen to me, and it was worse than me losing my Twitter account and my YouTube account. You said it was
Okay.
very bad.
Did I say that I was part of this?
No, you said that you were and I'm trying to find the
Or
DM actually in here right
or
now.
did I let you know that I heard this and that I wanted to warn you?
Yeah, that's how you said it.
So I wasn't threatening you, I was helping you.
Well, it depends on what exactly you had. I mean, what exactly was going to happen? Can you please share that?
Well,
What were you threatening? What were you warning me about?
let's dumb it down a little for the people who don't understand. If you stand in the middle of the street and I see a truck coming and I yell, "Stephanie, there's a truck coming. Get out of the way." Am I threatening you? Am I threatening to kill you or am I warning you for being killed because you're going to be hit by a truck?
Well, here's what you said. You said it's worse, far worse.
You
I
and
warned you
you and
repeatedly.
no,
You
I'm
need to
not going
get your
to let
act
you
together
do
and
this.
distance
I'm not. I
yourself from
told
some
you
things
I'm
and
not
several
going to
people.
let you do this. And if
All
you
you need
need
to
to be
do
muted,
in the
I'll mute you. And let's get back to the question that I asked.
and then you said, and you
Let's
need to
stick
do
to
it in
the.
the open.
Let's stick to
I've
the.
told you more than
Let's
once,
stick.
I'm not your enemy, yet you keep treating me as one. That's what you said. It's worse, far worse. I warned you repeatedly.
Do I have to mute you, or are you going to answer my question?
Was I able to actually say that verbally?
Did I threaten you? Yes or no? Or did I warn you? Yes or no? Two questions. I need an answer. And stop wiggling about. I know what this is all about. It's all about your followers, and you don't want to admit to doing something wrong because maybe you could lose a couple of followers over it. Well, tough luck. I'm not
Okay,
letting you
goodbye,
off.
Peter. I hope you have a nice night. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Bye, guys.
So that's it. At least now we have the real face of Stephanie Thomason. She doesn't want to apologize for the fact that she threw someone under a bus and made something up and doesn't want to own up to it. I never threatened her in any DM. I will never threaten her in any DM. I tried to warn her. I tried to be her friend. Apparently, that's the wrong thing to do. So I will never warn Stephanie again. Even when I'm well aware that people are going after her and that she may lose more than she wants to over this. I think it's sad. I think it's pathetic that you're not even capable of apologizing for something that you actually know never happened, but you completely made up. It's so sad that a teacher at a university is doing this in public. And I'm glad I had this video. And I'm glad that I at least had the chance to let people know what was going on. Because I think by now it's completely obvious that I never threatened her and I never meant her no harm. It was exactly the opposite. And what she did is trying to, uh, I don't know, damage me, damage my channel. And I think there might be a motive in that as well, because Stephanie started her own channel and she wants the talks that we have on her channel. The fact that she's not capable as a moderator to even do that is besides the fact. That's just something that I noticed over time, because whenever there's a talk that could be in any way a little bit confronting, she asks other people to come in. And I can name one. I see him in the live chat right now. One of them is Craig Reed, and he's doing actually a lot better job at moderating a talk, at asking questions than Stephanie ever did. But um, yeah, I tried to do the best I can to resolve this. Stephanie apparently uh, isn't interested. Stephanie wants to demolish people over her own lies and just get away with it. Well, she took on the wrong person. And I'll start another stream if she wants to. If she's sincere and she wants to apologize for her actions, then she can come back. No problem. But I'm not going to let her off. I told her up front, you can come on and you can apologize. If that's what she would have wanted to do, I think that would have already happened. But now we know who Stephanie is. Stephanie will stab you in the back and then pretend to be a friend and pretend to be a Christian. I'll make a statement right here. Stephanie is not a Christian. Stephanie, among other Christians, isn't even a Christian because she dodges most of the Bible. But I think she's even unfit to teach at a public school. People with a morality like that should not be around teaching children. And that's my opinion. And Stephanie can change that opinion in an upcoming stream. My offer will be open, Stephanie J. Thomason. Whenever you want to apologize for the disgusting things you did to try and demonize me, then I'll have you back. And you can have your say. Because I'm no longer taking this from you. I'm done with it. All you want to do is gain followers. You are no less malevolent than Mr. Trump is, because you will change positions according to the person that you're talking to. You are a populist. You want to gain votes to be popular. You want to gain votes and followers by just making everyone happy. And by doing that, you're insulting most of the population, most of the people on Twitter, and most of the people on YouTube. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know why you can't be a decent human being. Why is that so difficult for you? Why is it that you can not just stand up for people and say, hey, you're calling him a nigger? I'm calling you out on that, and I'm going to make you take that back. That's not hard to do. Calling women a hoe? That's not difficult to call people out on. And that's not difficult if you are in a position that at least you have a little leverage over them, as the position that you are in, Stephanie J. Thomason. Then you can use that for the good. You can show people how Christian you are, and you can call people out on their heinous actions on YouTube, on Twitter, because that's what a decent human being does. And so far, all you have done is expose yourself to the world as not being a decent human being. And all I have done is try to get you to see that. More people have tried to get you to see that. Two of my friends are trying to get you to see that, to make you think, to make you be aware of the damage that you are doing. And it's maybe for a lot of people, it's just Twitter and it's just YouTube. But people like Dean Esme are acting like this in the real world. For people who haven't seen it, go watch the video with this little kid. It almost made me throw up. It's disgusting. And people like you, people who are in a teaching capacity, should call people like that out. And if that will cost you a couple of followers, it'll cost you a couple of followers. I'm fine with that. I'm not in this for gaining followers or subscribers. I'm in this to actually make a better world. Something that you have in your bio, Stephanie Thomason. But all you do is trying to make it worse by humanizing people who aren't worth being humanized. You have to call these people out, because in the United States, it just won't take long for people to act out on stuff like this. If Dean Esme sends out a tweet that someone needs to die, there's going to be an idiot at some point seeing that tweet and acting upon it just to make him happy. Just someone like you who wants to gain followers, who wants to have approval, because that's how society in the United States works. And that's why it's so important for you, Stephanie Thomason, to address this and to distance yourself and to say, I'm not going to be part of this anymore. And if I'm going to have him on my channel, it's because I'm going to criticize him over the things that he does. And if that's going to happen, then I'll happily be your friend, because that's when you prove to be a decent human being. It isn't about Dean Esme. I couldn't care less about Dean Esme if it weren't for the actions that he does. It is about me trying to let you see how damaging it is for you to be in there with them. So anytime you want to get back to me, anytime you want to apologize for what you did to me, because you know that I was trying to help you, and instead of that, just to score points with your followers, what you did is turn it around and said people that I'm threatening you. You're not a good human being, Stephanie Thomason. At this point, you're a disgusting human being, not someone I want to be friends with. I'll talk to you in the same way I'll talk to Dean Esme. I'm going to criticize you, and I'm going to nail you down on the things that you do wrong. And the very moment you realize that what you're doing is disgusting to a lot of people, then you get back to me and we'll talk about it. And if and when you change your position and are really going after the good things in life and are really going to try and get those who are messing it all up for us, um, we don't have a lot to talk about. Uh, I won't be a Christian because people like you are the best advocates for atheism. If what you are doing is allowed in Christianity, then there's something completely wrong with Christianity. So, yes, you're one of our best voices. And I want you to stay on YouTube and I want you to stay on Twitter. That doesn't mean that if you're posting a disgusting tweet that I won't report it. If you would tweet the same things like Dean Esme, I would report them. If you are accusing me of threatening you, yes, then I will report you. Um, and I don't care what people think. I want you to realize that what you're doing is damaging. I want you to realize that you have a voice to speak up. I want you to realize that you can do something about it. So let's see what happens. Door's still open. No problem. But you need to do something. You need to take action. You need to have a voice. If you want to make the world more decent, then do it. Act upon it. I guess this was some kind of a rant, maybe a little too long. So my apologies for being it too long, but it's something that I deeply care for. I want to solve problems, and this video was about solving something, and it just didn't work. It takes two people. It takes me to reach out and say, come on, let's talk about this. But it should have made Stephanie apologize for the things she did. Sorry she didn't. Maybe we'll see something different next time. Thanks for everyone in the live chat. We had to moderate a couple of people, but we'll see. I truly hope Stephanie will get back to me, and then we can pick up stuff where we left off today. And I still hope that she will think that maybe it's better to put your energy in making the world better. I'm hoping for that. Everyone who's watching, thanks for joining in. Thanks for being in the live chat. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We'll be back tomorrow. And a belated request. Yes, Tony, I'll mention your chat with Mel on sexual predators. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link to that one in this description. That was a lot more productive than this one was. I didn't catch all of it, so I'll have to watch it, and getting the link, at least I'll be able to watch it. You guys, for the part that I caught, you guys did a great job, and it's probably more important than this stream was. So people who are a little bit disappointed, go to Scientist Mel's channel and watch the stream about sexual predators. I'm going to sign off for today. No more live streams. I'll be back tomorrow when we have another Christian on, and maybe another talk this Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Thanks all for coming. See you all next time. Bye-bye.